Today, we're going to dive deep into the heart of storytelling itself. But our guide for this journey, well, it isn't some epic knight or a powerful wizard. Nope, it's a tiny mouse named Milo, whose simple little story holds the key to one of the most powerful narrative structures ever created.
It's a fun question, isn't it? And you might be surprised by the answer. Because the journey of this little mouse, who really just wants a good night's sleep, follows the exact same pattern as the biggest blockbuster adventures you've ever seen. It all comes down to a timeless formula called the hero's journey.
Okay, so every great story has to start somewhere. And for our hero, Milo, it begins in what storytellers call the ordinary world. You know, this is home base. It's the place they know inside and out. It's comfortable, but there's always just one little thing that isn't quite right.
So let's look at Milo's world. I mean, it's pretty idyllic, right? He's got a warm, comfy mouse hole, super soft beds, and he gets to dream about his absolute favorite thing, cheddar cheese. It's a life of total peace and comfort. But, like in any great story, there's always a but. There's that one problem that's about to kick everything off.
And get this, the problem isn't some terrifying dragon or a world-ending catastrophe. It's his big brother, Max. And Max snores. This is what's known as the inciting incident, or the call to adventure. It's that small, totally relatable annoyance that just completely disrupts the ordinary and forces our hero to think, you know what, maybe it's time for a change.
So you can really feel his internal conflict here. On one side, you've got the problem. Max's snoring is a major roadblock to those amazing cheese dreams. But on the other side, the solution seems so clear, so simple. Get his own place, be independent, finally become a grown-up mouse. This right here, this is the moment of decision. And with that decision made, Milo steps into the next phase of his journey. He's actually going to do it. He's leaving the comfort and safety of his home. And that is a huge step for any hero, whether they're big or small. This is the point of no return. And this quote, it's just perfect. This is Milo officially accepting that call to adventure. He's announcing his plan, and he's driven by that desire to be a grown-up. He's not just thinking about it anymore. He is fully committed to this quest.
And he doesn't waste any time. He says his goodbyes and immediately faces his first real obstacle, a messy kid's bedroom, which to a tiny mouse is like a maze of giant building blocks. But he makes it through, and he enters his first truly unknown territory, the living room.
All right, so now we get to the real meat of the adventure. See, once a hero crosses that threshold, they don't just magically find what they're looking for. Oh no, they get tested. They have to face a whole series of challenges that force them to learn and to adapt.
This just lays out Milo's trials so well. First, the living room. He finds a great, spacious new hole, but the TV is way too loud and flashy. No sleep there. So he moves on to the kitchen, drawn in by those yummy cheese smells, but nope, the clinking dishes and running water are just too much. Finally, the bathroom. It seems perfect. It's totally silent, until a loud shower suddenly blasts on. Every single new place has a promise and a brand new problem. And that, right there, is exactly what the trials stage of the hero's journey is all about. It's not just about failing over and over. It's about learning. With every new mouse hole that doesn't work out, Milo gets pushed further and further from his comfort zone. And he's learning what he doesn't want, even if he doesn't quite realize it yet. So after facing all these trials, after all this struggle, our hero is ready for the turning point. This is that moment of profound realization, that aha moment that changes everything and finally sets him on the path back home.
And there in the bathroom, listening to that roaring shower, Milo has his big epiphany. He realizes that the loud TV, the clanking dishes, those weren't just random noises. They were the sounds of a family, the sounds of a home being lived in. And he understands that the perfect, total silence he thought he was searching for, that wasn't what he truly wanted at all.
And with this new understanding, his journey home is a completely different story. He leaves that bathroom with a real sense of purpose. The maze of toys that seemed so intimidating before, it's all tidy now. His path is clear. He's not just wandering around anymore. He knows exactly where he's going. He's going home.
And so, we reach the final and maybe the most important stage of the journey. The hero returns to their ordinary world, but they're not the same person who left. They bring something important back with them.
Wow. I mean, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? The very thing that drove him away from home, his brother snoring, is now a source of comfort. It's not just noise anymore, it's a soothing lullaby. His entire perception has been transformed by his adventure.
I mean, just look at this transformation. It's absolutely incredible. Before his journey, the snoring was just an annoying interruption, a reason to get out. Now, it's a comfort. It's a familiar sound that tells him he's safe, that he's home. The external problem never actually changed, but our hero, he did.
And that brand new appreciation, that is the treasure he brings back. In storytelling, we call this the elixir. It's the wisdom, the new perspective, the lesson learned that the hero brings back to share. For Milo, the elixir isn't some magic potion. It's the simple but incredibly powerful understanding of what home truly means.
So, the story of this one little mouse gives us a blueprint for some of the greatest tales ever told, and it leaves us with a really interesting question to think about. What are the familiar noises in our own lives that maybe, just maybe, we take for granted? What seems like an annoyance today might just be the very thing that makes us feel at home.